So the lock I have to show you guys today is this WinkHaus Model VS. This is a 5-pin mortise cylinder. You'll notice on this key we have some dimple cuts on either side. Those correspond to profile pins in the 3 and 9 o'clock positions. Now those are for passive key control, and they do not affect picking in any way. However, what does affect picking is this extremely paracentric keyway broaching. You can see down here these two bits of warding basically cut off any access I have for my picks to the entire bottom third of this keyway. I can get it in there, but I just really can't access these pins at all. So in a situation like this, I'll just take the largest tension wrench that I can fit in there and just take up all that extra free space that I have. And the way that I'm going to be reaching these pins is I'm going to be riding my pick on this piece of warding here. However, you see on this key again, we've got a very high cut on pin 2. And my pick just cannot quite reach that far up into the chamber. Even my steeper hooks, I can't get that far up there. So what I'm going to have to do is once I get to that pin, I'm going to have to get myself completely under it. And I'm going to have to work my way up to that next piece of warding and then lever off of there. That's the only way I'm going to be able to fully set that pin. So with all that in mind, let's go ahead and get started. I'm going to start with this Peterson gem in 15 thousandths. And I can go straight to the back. See what I got going here. Alright, I felt to click on 5. Make sure that's set. Alright, check 4. 4 is not giving me anything. Alright, I feel 2. Alright, so I'm going to have to. Alright, there we go. I heard 2 click. Feel 3 now. Alright, let's set on 3. 4 feels like it's set. Let me check 1. Alright, 1 gave me a slight rotation on the core. That means I'm either on a spool or I'm on a what are called rolling pin tumblers. It's one of the types of security pins that these WinkHaus locks are known for. Alright, I'm not feeling anything else. Let me check on these higher cut pins here. Alright, there we go. I just tapped pin 2 and it came right open. Now, before I take this out, I want to show you guys something. Now, I said the profile pins don't affect picking, and this lock is picked. However, if this lock were mounted on a door, I would have to rotate this enough so the tailpiece would activate the locking mechanism. So I'm going to go ahead and rotate this around a little bit more. Now you see I get stuck here just beyond 90 degrees. Now it's not stuck in the vise. It's the driver pins have dropped down and now they're catching on the pin chambers for the profile pins. So I'm going to have to push those things out of the way to continue rotating this core. Working through the camera here, sorry. And I'm going to use this Peterson lifter or reach pick. Since these are directly aligned with the key pins, it's kind of hard to reach in there and get them. There we go. They're out of the way. And then we got to do the same thing with the other pins. And we've got a full rotation and we've got an open lock. Let's go and check the key that I forgot to do before. The key does work just fine. Now let's get this thing out of the vise and see what's inside. Zoom out. Now, I resisted the temptation before I started this video to gut this thing, although I did pick it a few times, so I have an idea of what's inside. Almost certain the pin 2 is a T-pin, and I did feel a spool pin in here one of the times that I picked it earlier. However, I only felt it the one time, and I think it was in 3 or 4, I'm not sure. Let me get the key in there and make sure my standard follower fits. Yeah, that'll work. And I know I'm going to be careful with these side pins here. There we go, you can see all the passive pins. Go ahead and drop these out. I'm going to try to keep them in order. I'm going to put the right side on this far end and the left side over here. So it's 1, 2, sorry, that was 3, 2, 4. All right, we got our side pins out. Now let's get the standard for the regular key pins. And these are all standards. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Let's line these up here. And let's go in for the top pins. All right, position 1, both the key and driver pins. Make sure you can see what I'm doing here. Both the key and driver pins for position 1 are steel pins for anti-drill protection. Pin 2 is one of those tapered pins I was telling you about. Pin 3, all right, there's a spool that I felt before. Pin 4 is another one of those tapered pins. And pin 5 is this a standard brass pin. Let's dump all these springs out. All the springs are the same. Now before we zoom in on the pins, let's check out this plug here. You see the milling for the side pins on each side. All the pin chambers are standard, no undercutting or anything. Here's a closer look at that paracentric boarding. And then the body of the lock. There's nothing special about the top, however you can see on the sides. Let me get some light in there. You can see the cutouts for those passive pins. And let's get a nice close-up on these pins. You got the spool drivers and the rolling pin drivers. And there's the passive side pins here. You can see you have some that are shorter, and these correspond with the null cuts on the key for the null positions. And then the brass ones are the deeper cut ones, and those correspond to the actual cuts on the key. So that's all I have for this WinkHaus VS lock. Thank you guys for watching, and make sure to tune in next time. So the lock I have for you guys today is this WinkHaus model V6. It's not a V6, quit lying.